guys. Today I just have a little different type of a video. Today this girl posted something crazy about men, and normally I just let stuff like this slide, but today this was crazy. So this 32-year-old woman left a comment saying she believes that men should come with, and I quote, golden retriever energy. Golden retriever energy, she says. Like, wow, the entitlement on this woman. So I told her if she feels that way, why not just get a golden retriever, be happy, and die alone? And leave us men alone right now, right? Would this be a great option, being that she clearly is showing the disdain for men so badly? No. She goes on to say that 99% of men are dogs. So this would mean that she has roughly met 4 billion men to make this statement. And on top of this, she expects a loyal, high earner that looks good. Meanwhile, her 99% statement really shows that the kind of men that she actually ends up dating. But does she choose the good guy that will dedicate his life to her, hold her down, never cheat, protect, and provide? Or does she keep chasing that Chad Henry bad boy type that does not support her financially, hoping that one lovely day will say that suddenly he will do everything and be everything that he isn't now? How does that make sense? But the sad truth is that she doesn't realize that the top 20% of men, meaning the high earners with good looks that are on the dating apps, they're getting it in with 80% of the women. And the women on that dating app, you know what I mean? So with that data, let's be honest, most average men, they do not want average women. Well, I said that wrong. Most average women don't want average men. So they date their perceived equal or someone who's higher. But meanwhile, that higher man has all the options too, you know what I mean? So the naive woman then goes on to say that she will never cook a man a meal because she's not there to be a single parent. Like, what does that one have to do with another? Like, what does that even mean? There is no logical correlation with the two in that sentence. And then furthermore, she expects her man to do everything while she just gets to sit around at home and do whatever, God knows what. Like, her poor man can't even get a sandwich on top of that. Like, so, in other words, if she doesn't want to make a simple meal, you can presume that she doesn't really want to make an effort. Yet, men are dogs. This logic doesn't make any sense. If anything, it's probably a factor of mainly in why she's remaining single, wouldn't you say? In another instance, I had suggested that putting a man on blast on social media, even if it was disrespectful at her lack of response, could scare away men who might have been interested in her. Her response was that all men should be scared to talk to her, and there is nothing wrong with it and how she is. She has good enough looks. Like, she's a pretty girl, I'm not gonna lie, but when it's paired with that kind of mindset, defensive aggressive behavior, and no effort and a poor attitude, it's no wonder why she keeps chasing the wrong man while expecting the opposite. And no type of therapy. We all need therapy. Like, to think that you can be broken and fix yourself, that's just not possible. We're not licensed to do that. Therefore, we can't fix ourselves. We all need help sometimes. Every time you break up with someone, you should be talking to someone to figure out where you messed up, where you went wrong, where that hurt is. You can't just fix yourself. The fact is that 50% of men are single and childless, while 26% of men are married. And while she keeps going for the 20% that have kids and are single, but what a vicious cycle though. She keeps ignoring the 54%, you know? That's more than half. But somehow you can tell she failed math, you know, the disconnect there. So again, let's be logical here, because that's what we do on my channel. The average population of women want the top 20% earning good-looking men, or they would rather be single. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like, to stay single, if you want to be single, do that. Like, but the very problem with doing that, it takes 2 incomes to survive in this current country, and it's only going to get worse as time goes. And even around the world, you know what I mean? Even in third world countries, it's pretty bad. The same average of the population of women make about 30,000 on average annually, while there is only 8% of women that make over $70,000 annually in the USA, and that's the highest earning around the world. So using this current economy, by the time you reach the retirement age of 65 nowadays, it might be a few years more actually now with inflation and the way things are. You will need approximately, give or take, $2.2 million to survive comfortably till age 85. And men die before women usually. Usually men die, black guys usually die around 70, white guys die around 73 on average. Obviously it goes up and down, it depends, obviously. That's just an average, but that's what the average is. And you know what I'm saying? That's just shocking. To reach 85 from 65, you need approximately $2.2 million, give or take, depending on if you want to live a mid to high upper class lifestyle. It just depends, but that's something that isn't talked about, needs to. So why aren't more parents telling their children about these daunting facts as marriage rates start to decline even more? Thanks to extreme forms of euphemism, I'm not going to say the real word because of YouTube, and bad information, women are not as aware of this and are told to do the opposite. Another reason a capitalistic system works better with more single people. But, that's not what we really want though. And because of this, too many women have not been taught to be a wife, how to be a healthy caregiver, and how to be a maternal figure by their relatives, by American culture and their own mothers. This makes it hard for men. This makes us think it's easier to just not be married, and just do our own thing. That's why a lot of people are saying, oh, men need to step up. Why aren't men going to college? Because men aren't choosing to marry, so they're not thinking I need to go to college so I can support a family, because men aren't having families. As we saw the stat earlier, more than half the population is single and childless, so that's telling a lot right there. It makes it hard for men. This makes, along with the fact that the divorce rate is initiated 78% of the time by women, the Disney version of the American dream was sold to women. It's full of illogical aspects, to have this fairy tale lifestyle provided by men, but not needing to give an effort and just sit around. But really, it takes hard work to be in a relationship and to be in a marriage. Like, being in a marriage is the hardest thing you'll ever do, along with being a parent, obviously. And that's not what marriage is about. It's not about that Disney lifestyle. Marriage is supposed to have a core aspect, or it's supposed to have a few core aspects. The core aspects I believe marriage should have: you need that respect, you need the duty, and you need to have that honor and the responsibility. If you don't have duty, respect, and honor and responsibility, duty, honor, respect, responsibility, you can't have anything else. It doesn't matter what your favorite color is. It doesn't matter what your favorite food is. All that stuff doesn't matter. If you don't have those four things, it doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter, boy, girl, doesn't matter. You need those four things or else you can't go anywhere else. And no one is really taught that through and through, So, what do we do here? We find ourselves at a crossroad. So, the problem really is we all go based on what we want and not what we actually need. So if you instead dated a man based on his character, and a man who wants to be married and provide, a man who is looking for this woman that will bring those core aspects, instead of dating based on his looks solely, then maybe, just maybe, you will get what you need instead of being the next fire hydrant.